Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Odegaard thinks he's got so much better at defending recently. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard thinks he is in the best form of his life and has highlighted his own improvement in terms of defending. Odegaard is set to play a club game back in his native Norway against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League tonight, with the Gunners looking to make it 3 wins from 3. At the press conference before that game, Odegaard was asked if he is playing the best football of his career and said he was. He has specifically improved his work of the ball as the Gunners have soared to the top of the Premier League ahead of Manchester City. When asked if he is in the form of his life, Odegaard said, "Yes, I think so. I think I have developed a lot in the last few years. I have always been good on the ball, but I feel like I am developing a different side of my game now as well without the ball. How to improve and affect the game in different ways. So yeah, I feel like I am doing well, and of course, when the team is doing well, it makes things easier for me as well. I am really happy to be part of this team and happy with where we are at the moment, but we want more, of course." Odegaard has stepped up into the role of captain, and you get the sense he is the ideal leader for Mikel Arteta's young side. Arsenal have balanced their European commitments well with their league from this season, and the challenge is to maintain that form now until the World Cup. Odegaard will get a break then because Norway did not qualify, and that could be crucial in terms of freshness for the months ahead. ESPN pundit blown away by how strong Arsenal star Gabriel Jesus really is. ESPN pundit Nadim Onyuha has hailed Arsenal's front three, especially Gabriel Jesus, who he thinks is really strong. The Brazilian joined the Gunners from Manchester City for £45 million this summer. He has been a revelation since, scoring 5 goals and providing 5 assists in just 9 starts in all competitions. Arsenal fans expected Jesus to bring in goals, assists, and an incredible work rate. He has definitely lived up to all of those expectations, but there is a side of his game that has surprised quite a few people: his strength. The 25-year-old is only 5 feet and 9 inches tall, but his hold-up play is really impressive. He has the strength to retain possession with his back to goal and also the balance to stay on his feet even when challenged by really tough defenders. Onyuha, who knows a thing or two about defending, has been really impressed with Jesus' strength and highlighted the Arsenal number 9. He told ESPN, "You have got someone like Gabriel Jesus who is desperate to score goals but also has an incredible work rate, even though he is not exactly 6 feet and 3 inches and weighs 90 kilos. He is pushing people around. He is really strong with really nice footwork. Things really are coming together for Arsenal, aren't they? Their backline looks solid, their midfield is really good, and their attack is more than capable of blowing teams away." Mikel Arteta deserves immense praise for everything he has done over the last few years. He has built a side capable of going toe-to-toe with almost every team in the Premier League, and Jesus is now a big part of that. The Brazilian is the complete package and has really helped Arsenal step up this term. If he keeps going at this rate until the end of the campaign, the Gunners will end up having a really successful season. Arteta says phenomenal Arsenal dressing room is best he's ever experienced. Mikel Arteta says the current Arsenal dressing room is phenomenal and the best he has experienced in football. Arsenal have had a brilliant start to the new season and lead the Premier League table after 9 games with a 3-2 win over Liverpool last weekend, leaving the Gunners a point clear of champions Manchester City. The North Londoners have also made a perfect start to their Europa League campaign and are on the top of Group A. Arteta was asked about the atmosphere at Arsenal this season following a leaked video, which saw former captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang criticize the Spaniard. The forward, who left Arsenal in January after a fallout with Arteta, claimed the Gunners' boss can't deal with big characters and big players. Arteta has issued his response and said people are free to discuss what they want, before insisting the current dressing room is the best he has ever experienced. Phenomenal. "I have never been in a better dressing room," he said at his pre-match press conference. "More enjoyable, more hard-working, better relationships with the staff to players, and it's an absolute pleasure as a coach to be a part of this group," Arteta added. Antonio Cassano hits out at Aubameyang for his comments on Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. Antonio Cassano has hit out at Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for his scathing remarks on Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. The Gunners boss and the Gabon star had a huge falling out of the Emirates last season. Arteta then pushed Aubameyang out of Arsenal, and the 33-year-old was far from happy with that decision. In a video that surfaced on social media last week, Aubameyang can be seen saying, as quoted by the Daily Mail, "To manage big characters or big players, he, Arteta, can deal with it. He needs some young players. They don't say anything, they listen." That, unsurprisingly, irked many Arsenal fans. Even Cassano was furious with the £12 million Chelsea summer signing and had a real go at him on Christian Vieri's Twitch channel this week. The Italian said, as translated by the Metro, "Now Aubameyang is speaking as well. He dares to say that Arteta doesn't know how to handle champions. Does Aubameyang consider himself a champion, but he doesn't know how to trap the ball? When Arteta took Arsenal in a general disaster, there were many players among that, and he was there too. Try to play football instead of talking about Arteta, who is first in the most important league in the world. For me, it's madness." Aubameyang came out and clarified on Twitter a few days ago that those comments were made just after he signed for Barcelona back in February this year. He explained himself by saying he still had bad feelings about Arsenal and Arteta back then, which is why he had a go at the Gunners boss. Aubameyang may feel his anger was justified, but there was absolutely no need for him to make those comments. The video going viral on the internet has made him look really bad, causing some Arsenal fans who previously backed him to turn against him now. The Gabon star will return to the Emirates as a Chelsea player in April, and it will be interesting to see the kind of reception he gets after what he said about Arteta. Ornstein says, "Many are now accepting they were wrong about Edu." David Ornstein has told The Athletic that many within the football industry are now admitting that they were wrong about Arsenal's technical director Edu, as the Gunners continue to make huge strides of progress. It has been a long journey for Edu at the Emirates. The Brazilian returned to North London in 2019, and it's safe to say that he took some time to prove himself in the backroom role. The Gunners registered 2 8th-place finishes on the bounce in the Premier League, and the appointment of Mikel Arteta came under a lot of scrutiny, with the Spaniard taking some time to silence his critics. Arsenal showed glimpses of what they could be capable of last season. They looked to be on course to book their return to the Champions League for this campaign, and while they ultimately fell short, they have taken another massive step forward this year. Arsenal currently lead the Premier League table, and they are playing some of the best football in the division. The work Edu and Arteta have done off the pitch is now reaping massive rewards, and Ornstein has now suggested that plenty in the football industry are now eating humble pie when it comes to Edu. Edu definitely has steered this ship forward and rightly earned an increasing amount of plaudits across the industry, he told The Athletic. "Even those who I speak to now, who were previously cynical at other clubs and in other roles within football, are now holding their hands up and saying fair play," he added. Arsenal are keeping a close eye on Zaniolo. Arsenal are reportedly keeping tabs on Nicolo Zaniolo, as his contract talks with Roma is yet to have a direction. According to Italian journalist Ciro Venerato, the situation surrounding Nicolo Zaniolo's contract at Roma might allow clubs to make their interest known. Arsenal are among the teams monitoring the 23-year-old Italian international, and other possible suitors could be lurking around. Zaniolo has been a star in the Serie A for some seasons now, and has developed into a key player under Jose Mourinho at Roma. The club also wants him to stay, but his conditions are making negotiations difficult. The report suggests Zaniolo wants a €4 million a year deal and a significant amount in bonuses. The Serie A giants are open to add-ons but are only willing to go up to 3.5 million euros in salary. In addition, Roma wants to insert a 50 million euros release clause in Zaniolo's contract. Until his financial requests are met, the 23-year-old may not be willing to agree to such a proposition. Should both parties fail to reach an agreement, there could be an opening for offers to come in for his services. Zaniolo is talented and has a bright future ahead of him, but Arsenal do not need such a player at this time. In his position, Mikel Arteta has Martin Odegaard and Fabio Vieira. These two are solid performers on their day. Adding the Italian could mean overloading a particular position. However, if the player eventually becomes available, Arsenal could be tempted to go for him if it comes at a good fee. A lot could change in the coming months, and Arsenal should focus on January buys at this moment. Arsenal looking to sign another defender, with the Frenchman being targeted. Arsenal are considering making a move for Frankfurt defender Ivan Ndika. Ndika helped play a pivotal role in Frankfurt winning the Europa League last season. The defender featured in 11 games in the competition and also made the Bundesliga team of the season. The French youth international is out of contract at the end of the season, and the clubs are keeping tabs on his situation should he become a free agent next summer. According to El Romanista, Arsenal and Roma are keeping tabs on Ndika. Despite an excellent start to the season, Arsenal have had some shaky moments at the back. Gabriel has struggled at times and recently gave away a penalty against rivals Tottenham. Long term, with Ben White being used as a right back, Mikel Arteta may be looking to upgrade on Gabriel, and Ndika could be a smart move, especially if he is going to become available on a free transfer. With William Saliba yet to sign a new contract, Arsenal may be considering their options in case the French defender decides to leave the club in the near future. Arsenal now reportedly want Andreas Chaldrup. According to Calciomercato, Mikel Arteta's Gunners are among numerous clubs keeping tabs on Andreas Chaldrup. Goal.com has reported that Chaldrup previously had trials at Tottenham as well as Liverpool, Bayern München and Juventus. In the end, he opted for a team where he was likely to get first-team football soon, and he has already reached that goal. Chaldrup has clocked up 51 competitive appearances, registering 14 goals and 5 assists. This season alone, the 18-year-old has registered 7 goals and 1 assist from 12 outings. Chaldrup's contract runs out in 2024, and his employers are apparently willing to sanction £17.5 million move. Goal.com compared the teenager to Jack Grealish, while Dean Jones has said he has similar traits to Erling Haaland. But the transfer insider, speaking to Give Me Sport, believes this could count against Arsenal. I don't think there is such a thing as the next Haaland because he is such a phenomenon, said Jones, but you could look for a striker that's got similar traits by all means. There are similarities between the two of them, obviously, but I am sure the last thing this player wants is to spend the next 10 years in Haaland's shadow. He wants to be his own man, so one thing I think he should do for now is stay away from the Premier League. It remains to be seen, however, if Arsenal will get Schjelderup. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.